The National Electrical Code, or NEC, does not specifically address crawl spaces with requirements beyond general wiring practices. The NEC does have specific requirements for attics, especially regarding lighting outlets and working space around equipment. An attic space, to fall under specific NEC regulations, must meet a minimum height requirement of 30 inches. A crawl space, which is generally considered a space under a building that provides access to wiring, plumbing, and other systems, does not have a specific height requirement mandated by the NEC. General wiring methods are governed by Chapter 3 in the NEC, covering wiring methods and materials. Article 300.4 addresses protection against physical damage. When running cables or raceways through or parallel to framing members in a crawl space, they need to be protected from nails or screws that could penetrate them. For example, if you are running non-metallic sheath cable, often referred to as NM cable, through the floor joists, and the edge of the cable is less than 1.25 inches from the nearest edge of the framing member, it needs to be protected by a steel plate or bushing. This requirement aims to prevent future damage to the cable from screws or nails used during renovations or repairs. Article 310 addresses conductors for general wiring. The ampacity of conductors in a crawl space must be sufficient for the load they will carry. The ampacity is determined by the conductor's size, insulation type, and the ambient temperature. When running conductors in a crawl space, you must consider the ambient temperature and direct the conductor's ampacity accordingly, as outlined in NEC Table 310.15. Article 314 covers junction boxes, device boxes, and pull boxes. All electrical connections in a crawl space must be made inside an approved junction box or device box. These boxes must be securely fastened and accessible. Ensuring accessibility means that the boxes shouldn't be buried behind insulation or other obstructions that would prevent easy access for inspection or maintenance. Article 334 addresses non-metallic sheath cable, type NM, commonly used in residential wiring. NM cable must be supported and secured according to NEC requirements. Typically, NM cable must be supported every 4.5 feet and within 12 inches of every box or fitting. When running NM cable through a crawl space, you need to ensure it is properly supported to prevent sagging and potential damage. Article 394 covers concealed knob and tube wiring. While not commonly installed in new construction, knob and tube wiring may be present in older homes. If knob and tube wiring is present in the crawl space, it needs to be inspected to ensure it is in good condition. Any damaged or deteriorated wiring should be replaced with modern wiring methods. Article 400 covers flexible cords and cables. Flexible cords and cables should not be used for permanent wiring in a crawl space. These are intended for temporary connections and should not be used as a substitute for proper wiring methods. Article 404 addresses switches. If any switches are installed in the crawl space, they must be suitable for the environment. They should be enclosed in a weatherproof enclosure if exposed to moisture or dampness. Article 406 covers receptacles. Receptacles installed in a crawl space should be GFCI protected. Ground fault circuit interrupter protection is required in damp or wet locations to prevent electrical shock hazards. This is crucial for safety, especially if the crawl space is prone to moisture. Article 408 covers switchboards and panel boards. If a panel board is located in the crawl space, it needs to have adequate working space around it. The NEC requires a minimum of 3 feet of clearance in front of the panel board, 30 inches wide, and 6.5 feet of headroom. The working space should be clear of obstructions to allow for safe access and maintenance. Article 547 addresses agricultural buildings. If the crawl space is part of an agricultural building, such as a barn or stable, additional requirements may apply. Agricultural buildings often have unique environmental conditions such as high humidity or corrosive atmospheres, which require special wiring methods and equipment. Article 550 covers mobile homes, manufactured homes, and mobile home parks. If the structure above the crawl space is a mobile home or manufactured home, additional requirements may apply. These structures often have specific grounding and bonding requirements that need to be followed. Article 725 addresses Class 2 and Class 3 remote control, signaling, and power-limited circuits. These circuits are commonly used for low-voltage lighting, thermostats, and other control systems. When running Class 2 or Class 3 wiring in a crawl space, you need to ensure it is separated from power conductors. This separation helps to prevent interference and ensures the safety of the low-voltage circuits. Article 760 covers fire alarm systems. If a fire alarm system is installed in the building, the wiring for the fire alarm system needs to be installed according to NEC requirements. Fire alarm wiring typically needs to be installed in conduit or be fire-rated cable. Also, ensure the fire alarm control panel is readily accessible for maintenance and testing. In addition to the specific articles mentioned, general requirements for grounding and bonding apply to all electrical systems in a crawl space. Grounding and bonding are essential for safety and help to prevent electrical shock hazards. All metal enclosures, such as junction boxes, panel boards, and equipment housings, need to be properly grounded. The grounding electrode system should be connected to a grounding electrode conductor that runs to a ground rod, ground plate, or other approved grounding electrode. All metal water piping systems, gas piping systems, and other metal components in the crawl space need to be bonded together to create a common ground. This bonding helps to prevent voltage differences between metal components and reduces the risk of electrical shock. When working in a crawl space, it is important to follow all safety precautions. Firstly, always turn off the power to the circuit you will be working on. Use a voltage tester to verify that the power is off before touching any wires or equipment. Secondly, wear appropriate personal protective equipment, including safety glasses, gloves, and appropriate clothing. This will help to protect you from electrical shock, cuts, and other hazards. Thirdly, use a ground fault circuit interrupter protected extension cord when working in a crawl space. This will help to protect you from electrical shock if you come into contact with a live wire. Fourthly, inspect the crawl space for any potential hazards such as standing water, pests, or structural issues. Address any hazards before starting work. Fifthly, if you are not comfortable working on electrical systems, hire a qualified electrician to do the work. Electrical work can be dangerous and should only be performed by someone who is properly trained and experienced. The NEC is updated every 3 years, so it is important to stay up to date with the latest requirements. You can purchase a copy of the NEC from the National Fire Protection Association or view it online through various subscription services. Local jurisdictions may also have amendments to the NEC, so it is important to check with your local building department to ensure you are following all applicable codes. In summary, while there is no specific height requirement for a crawl space in the NEC, all electrical work in the space must comply with the general requirements of the code. This includes protection against physical damage, proper conductor sizing and ampacity, use of approved junction boxes, proper support and securing of cables, GFCI protection for receptacles, and grounding and bonding of all metal components. Always follow all safety precautions when working in a crawl space, and if you are not comfortable performing electrical work, hire a qualified electrician. Staying informed about the latest NEC requirements and local amendments is crucial for ensuring the safety and compliance of electrical installations in crawl spaces. Remember that this information is for educational purposes and is not a substitute for professional advice. Always consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector for specific guidance on your electrical project.